If you don't know where you come from, you will never find where you're going.
When Nigeria is working, we will all know.
PDP and us are diametrically opposed.
SaharaTV, TV, the best TV, information, education, inspiration. SaharaTV,
I am from SaharaTV. I'd like to ask you a few questions.
Information, education, inspiration. SaharaTV, they get mouth, they get mouth.
When you see an old man running in a torn forest, if he is not running after something, then something is running after him. Welcome back to SaharaTV. My name is Rodolfo Okonkwo, and hanging out with us is Wumi Akintide.
Nice to be here.
So this is the Skype call segment where we take your calls about all the topics we've been discussing. We're lucky to have columnists for Nigeria World and Sahara reporters here with us. And we want to hear from you, our viewers. We've been discussing varieties of topics, and we want to hear your own opinion. We've talked to the experts. Now we want to talk to you, who I believe, you sometime you know more than all the experts we bring on the show. So before we go to Skype calls, I know that we have two callers with us. I want to ask you, Wumi, so look at the trend since Patience Jonathan, the wife of the president, went abroad. So we hear that she went because she had food poisoning. She is suffering from Parkinson's syndrome. She is suffering from cancer. Do you think that it was worth it for the presidency to tell the country that she was out to rest, considering what has happened, how all these rumors and uncertainty has taken over the story? Wouldn't it have probably paid the government to say she went for treatment and we ask you to respect her privacy?
Absolutely correct, Rudolph. I was surprised that, because we've been here before, President Yar'Adua was sick in similar situation, and they were keeping it as a secret until the whole thing had to blow up on their faces. That's exactly what has happened. I'm disappointed that the president allowed this to be handled this way. And I'm much more disappointed in Ruben Abati, who I thought was going to learn from his past mistakes and make sure that the right thing is done. It was silly of them for anybody to hide it. Because when you hide such a thing and you have to hear from the grapevine, it's even worse for the government. It's going to be very embarrassing for them. It was a silly mistake on their part.
All right, let's go to our Skype callers, and you are free to discuss any of the topics we've been talking about or your own topic, anything you want to discuss. The first person we want to talk to is Dayo. Dayo is calling us from Abuja. Dayo, welcome to SaharaTV.
And my camera is not working.
All right, just talk to us. We understand. We can hear you very well.
Okay, so.
Okay, Dayo, I think one of you...
Okay, let me sum up my live stream. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Okay, please, so that we don't get the echo we're getting now. Also...
can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm calling from Atlanta. I wanted to make a point on the president's wife. I think she has a right to her privacy. I don't think medical records should be released for an individual without her permission. It's everyone has a right to keep his health records to himself, even if she's not a public official. I mean, even if she's the president's wife, it's her own calling to give her medical condition if she wants to do so. So I don't think it's everyone must know what's wrong with her. I don't think it's right, except she wants it that way.
Now, Dayo, let me ask you, were you happy that the government told us that she went to rest abroad? And are you concerned? Are you concerned that whatever expenses are being incurred there is going to be paid by the taxpayers of the country, including expenses for all her support staff and all the government officials who are going there to see her? Are you concerned about that?
Yeah, I'm concerned about that, and I'm not holding brief for the president's wife and the lies that have been going on. But the point I just want to make is that the way the media has carried it made it look like everyone must know what's wrong with her. It's not that way. I mean, if the doctors in Germany releases her medical record, they have the right to be arrested and prosecuted because it's not done in medicine. It's ethically wrong for you to release someone's records without the person's permission. But it doesn't mean I'm holding brief for the fact that they've been lying that she went to Germany to rest. I mean, if they said she was sick and she went to Germany, fine. And I know that, and I'm not holding brief to that taxpayers' money is being used for the treatment. But what I'm saying is that it is totally wrong in medical practice to release someone's record, whether the person is public official or is not a public official, to the public. It's not. No one. She doesn't have the obligation to tell people what's wrong with her.
Hold on that thought, because when we want to say something.
Yes, I think, Dayo, we are not talking about medical records. I don't know how the media has played it out. We are not talking about medical records, but that the first lady is sick and has to go abroad for medical treatment. There's nothing too much in that. We ought to know about that. That is not confidentiality. I know all about confidentiality, the patient confidentiality. I think the president coming out to let the world know that the first lady is sick and has to seek medical attention, I don't think that is too much for anybody to hear. Now, so that we don't depend on rumors and a grapevine.
Now, Dayo, let me come back to you, because I like the points you're making, but let's look at it this way. It wasn't. I don't think the doctors in Germany released her record to anybody.
They will not.
Otherwise, if they did that, there will be a consensus. Everybody will know exactly what's wrong with her. But they did not. So, are you saying that the media? Are you saying, because it sounds as if you are blaming the doctors? I don't think it's the doctors that released the record. The media probably got from their sources. They got to know what they think is going on with the first lady. Are you saying that what is wrong is that the media got the reports or the story from different sources? Is that what you think is wrong?
No. I wanted to get my point. My point is the way the media has been. I know that, I'm not holding brief for the president's wife and the president's spokesmen and women lying and saying she went to rest and is, all that kind of stuff. I'm not holding brief for that. But what I'm saying is that the media is making it look like the president's wife must tell us what is wrong with her. It's not. It's not done in. Medical practitioner is not done in medicine.
Yeah, but what we are saying, for example, when President Yar'Adua was sick and he had to return, almost on his deathbed, to the Achorok, even the acting president at that time was not even informed. Now this is a replay of that again, and once that has happened, we thought that these people should have learned from their mistakes. Yes. All we are saying is that the president's wife is sick. He has to seek medical attention abroad.
If I may come in here, I think being president's wife is being the president of Nigeria is a public job.
Hold on. Who is speaking? Please tell us your name and wait. Sazwa from London. Okay, go ahead.
It's not. They needed to come out and tell the public that the president is perfectly fine. You don't have to disclose the medical conditions or anything. Just say they are public figures. They serve in Nigeria. So to me, I don't see anything wrong in them making Nigeria feel that
and to tell you the truth, the president's wife in Nigeria is now. Some people want to defend him and defend her and say that it's not a public figure. It's a public figure who is supported by government. There's a budget for First Lady.
And she's also a permanent secretary.
A permanent secretary in the
Dayo, you are here in Atlanta. Let me come back to you, because I want you to look at the story of Jesse Jackson Jr.
Exactly.
Who disappeared from Congress. And the people in his constituency were saying, where is he? Yes. And the media were asking, where is he? And they came up with the same kind of story. He doesn't want privacy and everything. At the end, he was forced to come out and say, I'm ill, I'm getting treatment, and leave me alone. And they left him alone.
Yes.
So can't you see that?
Exactly. Yeah. So what I'm saying is, even if you're a public official, I mean, yes, the public deserves to know that you're sick somewhere.
Yeah.
But what I'm not disagreeing with you guys, but my point here is that my point here is that the way the media, like a lot of people have read in a lot of social medium, and people are saying that she's a public official or he's a public official, he has to say what is wrong with we have the right to know what is wrong with him.
No, that's,
you know?
that's going too
If
far.
they leave it at she's sick,
That's
and she's
going
seeking
too
medical attention, fine, except she wants to say, oh, I have cancer. Now she has had like 8 diagnoses from the media.
You're right about that. You are right about that. It's going too far to be asking for the the picayune details of what is happening to her. And no doctor is going to reveal that anyway. So, by not revealing it to people, go on speculation. Sometimes speculation can be dangerous. It can be more damaging.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah.
Okay, let me.
From the outside, if they had come out to say, okay, the president's wife was not feeling fine, she's gone to hospital in Germany and all that, people wouldn't be talking about.
And what is even more important? Like what is even more important than all of this? Anytime any public official is sick, he has to go to Germany, he has to go to Saudi Arabia. What of our own country?
Exactly.
For example, in Ondo State,
where the media is supposed to focus on in this whole issue,
yes,
is why are people not seeking medical care in Nigeria? What's wrong with the Nigerian medical system? I think that's where the media should be going.
And the greater question is, why is the Nigerian government, any of the government, not trying to build a facility where people could go and seek medical attention instead of going abroad? For example, Governor Mimiko of Ondo State just created the Gani Fawemi Medical Center. The purpose of that center was to make sure that people don't get sick and then they get have to be transported to London or anywhere.
India.
India. I've not heard of anybody that is sick and they say, oh, he was taken to the Gani Fawemi Medical Center in Ondo. It has not happened. It does not happen. So it's a white elephant. It's just window dressing, and that's very unfortunate. And
one question I also asked myself is, I mean, the former president was suffering from kidney disease or Strauss syndrome, and till today we don't have like any kidney center where the president, like someone built it in the president's name, you know.
Even dialysis.
So I think that's where the media should focus on, and I think the media should focus on
even ordinary dialysis. Here, there should be centers, facilities where you can have dialysis if you have kidney problem, because sometimes you have to do the dialysis 3 times a week and so on. We don't even have such facilities in Nigeria. Afatola is doing a wonderful job in Lagos, in Lagos State. I'm expecting that he would think about it and seriously build a facility that can attend to some of these things, so that our leaders don't have to go on a jamboree like that. If the first lady is in a hospital in Lagos or in Agege or Egbe or somewhere there, all these speculations will not have arisen at all, you know.
All right, Osazuwa, let me come back to you. What other topic have you been watching that you are interested in talking about that we've been discussing today? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah.
Rudolph, are you talking to me?
Yeah, I'm talking to you, yeah. I'm saying, any other topic that we've been discussing that you want to talk about today?
One of the things that drew my attention was I mean, Nigeria at 52, where we have gone, as in how we have gone, and you know what we are today, and also the movie incident in Adamawa State, I believe. Yeah. So I just want to talk about, I think, the movie incident, which is, I think, very important.
Okay.
I think the way violence have been happening in Nigeria over time, we are becoming very insensitive to killings that happen almost on a daily basis. You find out that that movie incident don't really seem to be a big event right now in Nigeria, because we've seen so many killings. You know, I've not really seen the government talking too much about it, because I watch Channels TV and nobody seems to be talking too much about it, and you know, looking at how we're going to stem such kind of violence that keep occurring every day. You find out that in countries now that violence is not a regular occurrence, like Kenya, where a child was killed with a grenade, you find out that it's a big national topic of discourse there. And the funny thing is that the movie incident made it in, you know, almost all the media in the world. New York Times took it, Washington Post, Huffington Post, all took it. But Nigerians are not really taking it serious. Like, People are just dying every day, and it's becoming lawless because I just read on the news that 2 people in Port Harcourt were burnt to death. You know, there's a lot of lawlessness going on, and you know, I don't really know. I don't know what your thoughts are, because this violence, people are becoming very insensitive to violence, and that's a very dangerous path I think Nigeria is treading.
And that is so because most of our universities have become a breeding ground for radicals. For criminals and killers. I mean, once upon a time, I think Rudolph will remember this, if you were not at the university at that time, Jasper Adakaboro from River State. He was an ex-student of University of Funsukka. Now that man was for a cause. But it was not court-related. It was not all this type of gangs and all these silly things in most of our universities. I think it begins with cleaning up most of our tertiary system, the universities, and getting rid of all these courts.
Sorry, can I jump in here, please? Can I jump in here?
Go ahead.
And one thing I'm also afraid of is, you know, we are all talking about today's leaders. Everyone is saying Nigerian leaders are corrupt, they are bad, and all that kind of stuff. But if with all the insinuations going on, like this, that it was due to elections, student elections, and people were killed and stuff like that, it now brings a lot of fear for the future leaders, because these are people that are still going to lead to tomorrow, you know. So what's going to happen, like, if they become, you know, if they hold public office in the future?
Exactly. That's
another dimension.
That's a very important point. Yes.
All right. Let me Dayo and Osazuwa. Hold on, okay. We have Charlie on the line. We want to get other people. Who? Tari. Okay. We want to get other people involved. So hold on. Just stay where you are. Let's get Tari to talk to us. Tari, welcome to SaharaTV.
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah. Hi.
Yeah. Thank you, Rudolph.
Okay.
And
Wumi, Dr. Wumi.
And Dr. Wumi Akun today.
Okay.
I just want to say something. First of all, we have been talking about the Nigerian system, our political leaders, that they have failed us. But I want to say something, that in most of the developed world, nation building is not just for political office holders alone.
Yes.
What the citizens do contribute, the professionals do contribute.
The followers, the leaders and the followers, yes.
Yeah, for the developed nation, I mean. But the emphasis for SaharaTV and most of your guests has been to fight the problems of Nigeria. But nobody seems to be giving a solution on how we can go out of our problems we face in Nigeria. So it's important that professionals like SaharaTV, which is a media outfit, it's important that people like Dr. Aki today, who I believe is a professional, to provide solutions. You guys are professionals, private citizens. In what way have you guys contributed towards developing our country? I mean, everybody knows the problem of Nigeria. Even a 3-year-old kid knows the problem of Nigeria. So what I think Sahara reporters or SaharaTV should do is a realignment. We should be talking about how we can build our nation. I mean, we have had great scientists from places like the United Kingdom. We have had great scientists from places like the US that have contributed to the development of these countries. These are not government people. But where are the doctors in Nigeria? Where are the professionals in Nigeria? Look at what is happening in the National Assembly. There is an allegation that Farouk Lawal stole billions of taxpayers' money that would have gone to the development of this country. Money, is it Jonathan? Is it the president? What I expect from Sahara?
Okay, hold on. Yeah, hold on. Before because this is a very common question that we see when we bring our commentators here to talk. People say, where are the solutions? Okay. Now, I've read some of your articles, and I believe that I see solutions you are suggesting
all the time.
And people, I don't know when you say that there is corruption, that this person is corrupt. And the solution is obviously to do something about that. And you have government officials who supposedly, you have the police that could go and arrest somebody who we know stole money and came out and say, I stole money, I was giving money. And he's saying the money disappeared. And so what solutions are people looking for?
Well, The solution actually should begin with yourself. For example, you're asking me, I'm a professional, I love Nigeria, I want Nigeria to succeed. If I want to curb some of the bad things that are happening in Nigeria, it begins with me. For example, I don't give bribe, I don't take bribe. Let's start with that. Because if you are going to be able to correct another person, the mission has to start with you. And for example, you're asking, what kind of solutions have we offered? I'm not sure if you have been reading some of these articles that we've been writing. Rudolph has read a lot of this. We offer suggestions as to how to solve all these problems. But sometimes, most of these suggestions are not followed up. They are not followed. But at least if I cannot influence another person, I can influence myself. And so it begins with me.
Yeah, let me go back to
and it will begin with you.
Go back to the caller. That's why when you call us, I always ask, where are you and what's your name? And I say, what are you doing in some cases? Because I know that if you have access to the phone or to the internet, that you are a professional and you can offer solution. And you are online now. You are talking to the world. And I wanted to give the solutions that Wumi is not giving or all the other commentators are not giving. So, in 30 seconds, because we have other people who are trying to talk to us. No, I was talking to yeah.
Yeah, I know you people are, once in a while your articles and in most of your broadcasts you do give solutions, but it's in a very disproportionate form. Okay. It's really very disproportionate. You talk more than what happens in Nigeria. You talk more on the negative side rather than telling us, you know, how we can move the way forward for Nigeria.
All right.
But I want to give it to Sahara reporter that you talk a lot about. Then to the issue of patient Jonathan, you see, I don't see why the ailment of patient Jonathan contributes to nation building. I mean, there are a lot of issues that are affecting the Nigerian nation today. So why will the issue of patient Jonathan, who is not an elected official, you quite mentioned that she's a permanent secretary in Bayelsa State. Yeah, she is a permanent secretary, but she was not elected by the people of Bayelsa. She was not, she's not in an elective position in Nigeria. So why should that issue of government
All right, I think let me stop you there because we have very few minutes left. Let me go to Ade. Ade has been trying to talk to us, but Ade, before you go, let me say something very important. When you talk about Patience Jonathan, you are talking about not just about an individual or an event. You are talking about the issue of transparency, accountability, lack of infrastructure in the country. That's the bigger picture, but people narrow it down to just Patience. All right, Ade, talk to us. What do you have?
All right, I'm Ade from Manchester.
Okay, go ahead.
And I'll first of all talk about the Patience Jonathan and the treatment.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody is asking for detail of what is happening to Patience where she is now. What we wanted is the first lady is sick and she's receiving treatment to place. That's all. For Jonathan to have gone through what he went through during the Gara glass of him, one would have expected that he wouldn't allow these things to happen to him this time around. And secondly, about the Senate, I understand the Senate is trying to pass a law that public officers should not send their children to school abroad again. I think it would be advisable and very good if you will extend that to medical care, so that if you are holding the public office as governor, as minister, or whatever, you are expected to receive your medical treatment in Nigeria. Now, you don't take our money to Europe, America, or India for medical treatment again. Invest those money in our own hospitals. Invest those money in our own country. Build those hospitals. Import those machines back to our own country and offer our own medical care. I think the Senate will be very nice if the Senate do something in that line.
All right, Ade, I have to stop you there because there's a parade going on here in New York at 12 and we have to go there. But let me round up with. We are going to continue this discussion when we come back next Saturday. But let me come back to you and the issue of giving solutions to this problem. If you read Nigerian newspapers, it's full of solutions. Just like people say that we know the problems about Nigeria, we also know the solutions.
Yes.
The question is, how do you implement
People
it?
do it.
Do people want to implement any solution? I mean, since I was a kid reading the Nigerian newspaper, I see solutions. People say, these are the problems, these are the solutions.
Yes.
But the fact that people even deny that there is a problem, you know, we assume that people believe that these problems are clear to everybody. I'll give you an example. The way that our Nigerians are killing people, petty thieves, criminals, they stone them to death and burn them and take the camera and get the picture and show it to the world. And they don't see anything wrong in the people, the big people stealing big money from the country. They are not killing them. They are not fighting to kill. You see that people don't even understand what the problem is.
The solution lies in how we pick our leaders. For example, Jonathan was picked as president by a single individual. Obasanjo was the person who did it. That is not where leaders are picked in most developed countries. For example, we are talking about Obama and Mitt Romney today. Whatever they have promised during the campaigns, people hold their feet to fire. They want to be sure that they carry out what they have promised. And that is why a lot of people are afraid that if Romney were to win, because Romney told them that, he even told Channel 13, Big Bird, that he was going to
retire him
and defund them. Now, if he goes on to win on November 6th, you can expect him to bring the scalpel and begin to cut down on things. And because of that, very few people who have the vote will vote for him. For example, I would never vote for him. I cannot be hearing all these kind of things that he's saying, and I will go to vote for him. So it depends on how we pick our leaders. If we are picking our leaders the right way, and we are picking the right caliber of people who can be held to their promise, then we've started to solve that problem. Because what is required is that if you promise this is what you are going to do and you are elected based on that, when you now get to the office, you have to do what you have promised. And if you do what you have promised, then you have to address most of the problems that have been highlighted.
All right, we have to stop here, and I want to thank our guests, all the callers that called in, and we are going to continue this discussion next week, Saturday next week. But in the meantime, we have to round up for today. We are going to go to the parade, Nigeria's Independence Day parade. But before we go, we're going to show you Dr. Damages and Keeping It Real. And we thank you for watching, and we hope you'll come back next week and join us. Thank you.
If you're not informed,
If you don't know who